The best way to laugh. I am the butler of the earth. Listen to what he says. The woman gritted her teeth without saying two words. Get out immediately. If you are a lost man, die. Look at her, the worst kind of thing. I don't think of her that way. It's a 9-dimensional thick weapon. Power like that. You can totally share the same scene. To fight a battle. Unfortunately, in front of her is a... It is your blood. Not saying many words, he created it in his hand. A rose-colored dagger flies towards the female. Two people are immobile. At this point he hugged her back. It's morning. The two guards saw his most powerful body pass by. Take it with you. The two women showed understanding smiles. Loud teasing subpoena butler. You worked hard last night. At the same time, my knees could see him. Open your mouth, men are the same. Probably bring you back. Go to your room. He threw himself on the ground and closed the door. You can sit on the chair. Little to fell on the ground. She turned to her lady. Miss, do you have any sow? The woman in black lying on the ground remained the same, unable to move. She can't answer. I am most likely to see her situation. Smiling softly, her fingers restore her freedom. She is also not happy. Just moved, then pull out the stick and stab it to the strongest side. But she made it possible to capture. All her actions are held in her hands. My body is not bad, but it is useless in front of me. I invited you to here just to ask a few questions. If you answer honestly, let them go. More, it's best not to put a weapon like this in front of me. When he finished, he pointed to his hand. When I remember something, I say yes. Are you hiding anything dangerous in your body? He pretended he wanted to go 6. The red-faced black man shouted, "Dare you?" The movement of his hands stopped. He looked at her and shook his head again. Dare it or not to see if you deserve it. After all, what are you doing in the forest? The woman in black turned her head away, not wanting to answer. The old man can forgive her. The more stubborn she was, the more she immediately tore. One piece then one piece. The girl's clothes were not intact. Most likely the world is once again asking, what are you doing in the forest? The way she looks, she still doesn't want to answer. Probably the most cold. I want to keep tearing her clothes. Finally the little girl was afraid she could not resist anymore. Immediately speak up. I am a woman of the Black Mountain. Come here this time. There is more than enough chance for you men to attack the potential. The usual divergence catches. Destroy the lost. Probably the face is not wavy. As if it was in his plan. But what you want? That's the point of the relationship between you Min Cup and Black Feng Sun. There are people who are pulling the strings in Black Feng Mountain. He continued to ask the girl. What do you and your friends have to do? What benefit do they give you? How do you and your brother relate to each other? Who's pulling the strings? Drag family. His eyes moved slightly without a sound. The worst of the world immediately violently tore her clothes. Until on her. There's only one pink undershirt left. Shielding. The family began to be afraid. There were tears in my eyes as she silently bit her lips without speaking. Most likely, her appearance is beautiful. But it doesn't affect why either. He put his hand slowly in front of her. I want to take off the shirt that's covering her, he said coldly. This is your last chance to maintain your dignity. If you don't even say, there are still 10 hungry people outside. I count to 3, 1, 2. He said. He reached out his hand in front of her. Don't let the little two next to you end up screaming. 18 Maqueen old medic. The little girl next to me couldn't help it to see her lady so humiliated. Open your mouth to talk. It has nothing to do with the cup. It was Yang Ming, the one-handed brother. I can see my head, so I want to say it all. The court tried to stop him. But before I could open my mouth, I was stopped by the most powerful. She is like that. Blink at little two. Tell all the secrets of Yu Min Cup and Black Feng Sun. Brother Yang is the most confident AI, slowly speaking up. He is Yang Ming. He is the master's disciple. He is also the lady's fiancé. But the Sun Master was killed by the southern town. The body cannot wake up. Can't say a word. That's why we're in league with the butler. Distracting family avenging Cho's Sun Master. But unfortunately, feces often escape. I recently discovered that you are in the forest. That's enough. Why you know? The one who snatched the Sun Master was lost in the south. You can see it. It's not Yang you see. I am most likely to listen quietly to the little girl. It's like realizing something. It is between the lost family and his son. From here, Yang Ming is the one who pulled the strings behind everything. As surely as everything is asked. So what happened to the captain? It can heal the farmer. It's also Yang Ming. I think that's a bit of a shock. How could you know such a thing? All love is understood. Most likely, the world doesn't feel the need to make the world suffer anymore. I want to put my hand in front of her. Right now. Suddenly, someone opened the door and came in. Is the usual. What are you doing in the room? Is that shit has just landed in the door. See the situation. To be the most decent of all. There are 2 women in the room. One of you has clothes. His hands are still in front of the woman's chest. She was ashamed to be angry. Is the butler. Even though Sao is also the institute of trash of other potential longs, you can do the wrong thing. In this place. She was a little startled when she walked in. Then calmly replied. We do this just because we're lost. For lost. You brought 2 women of unknown background home. All night long you talk about being lost. You didn't say you wanted to be strong. You don't want to get lost in the 7 worlds. So what are you doing? I was most likely to hear her anger. Ever since. The difference is usually always the same. Keep yourself in the image of the lady. The gentle thuck decency. Now it's this loud again. I saw that and explained it to her. They are the people of Black Feng Mountain I just finished interrogating. Listening to B.A. Black Feng Sun. Anger in the straggler often rises immediately. She quickly gathered in her hands. Hit towards the drag family. She screamed for my father's life. I saw the situation in front of me and was ready to fight. Most likely immediately prevent divergence, often said. You have no mercy between the lost family and the black faction. It's not that simple. Maybe it's all because of the 7 kingdoms. The word just ended. Is that the stool is often immediately startled by people looking at him. Wu Din and Zhao Tu also looked at him the same way. They all know. For the 7 kingdoms, it doesn't matter if it's a peanut or a black hole. It's just small particles of dust that aren't worth mentioning. It can be destroyed at any time. If it's really what it says. They are the flags. The 7 rulers of the world are the pawns. To achieve their goal. I see them thinking the most, and they keep talking. Drag lady, I want you to take me on a journey. I want to clarify the reason for this. You want, I will take you to the Black Mountain camp. You have a dream and you are angry. I see she doesn't want to. The worst of the world turned to ordinary. Lady who lent me the dragon captain. What do you want to do? Although doubtful. But the divergence is usually in agreement with the intention of giving him. She knows she has the power, she doesn't need this weapon. He is a 5-year-old who has something to do. Your captain. But it can't cure the disease. Let your master paint. I just need you to take me to the Black Mountain. Investigate the matter clearly. Maybe that Yang Ming is fooling you. Yang Ming easily instigated the stray butler to commit treason. Again can hook up the relationship with Yu Min Cup. The lady who knows him well. Most likely malicious speculation. Probably the most famous of all was the Dragon Captain show. To express my intentions. I hesitated for a moment and finally agreed. They also gave her a family treasure. There's no reason they should fool her. Then she thought the most sure way. I saw that she responded with a smile. Suddenly I remember something. Khan gave me 2 hours to remind the lady. Watch out for the cold. Reminded by why. The family finally remembered. Her clothes are not intact. She had been talking to him. There was only one protective shirt on her. She immediately blushed and yelled at you to get out. It's normal, and to also realizes this. Push him out. Most likely, he was pushed out and teased. Drag lady. Wearing a little more later can help a little more. In a small forest in the. A woman in black and a man in a wave. Tall skinny girl. Beautiful appearance as flower. The old man had gray hair on his chin and a long beard. The eyes look old. But there's no end to clutter. 2 people go to the foot of a mountain. The woman looked away from the top of the mountain. He glanced at the head. You are the best to know. If we find out, you have a bad intention for Black Mountain, I will definitely not forgive you. The old man raised his face to the sky, and laughed and shook his head. Don't worry, lady. We just came to investigate the situation, not for revenge. Besides, only you can do anything. The dance is cold for an hour. Go straight ahead. And if you lose a hair, you also watch over me. Don't worry, I have to save my life. Must be real. Then I looked at her a mystery. I said it because I wanted to. Good for you. Good for me. The doubtful lord looked to the most certain side. He shook his head not to say. Time to ask no more. Just like that, two people waved their shoulders up the mountain. Straight to the middle of the mountain, he met the doorkeeper of the Black Mountain. The one who is a lady is back. Not someone who is in the forest. The court heard him ask. He immediately glanced at the other, an arrogant reply. Something to go back to. After that, go straight to the mountain. Most likely, the person who just blocked the way looked at her. Say a deep sentence. That's Yang Ming's man. Your visit to the forest is a secret. A guard down the mountain knows. Wait until we get to the mountain. Yang Ming will definitely welcome. The dance floor was slightly startled. Thinking about his words said his eyebrows furrowed. She is extremely confident in Yang Ming. But these days I'm most likely with her. Say unusual things. She began to doubt again. Very quickly the two of you went through the doors. Finally at the top of the mountain. Black Feng Sun Camp door has appeared in front of you. When you two want to go. Then a young man appeared. Face light, Tuan carries the evil. It looks the most solid. I saw that this person is Yang Ming. He turned to whisper with a whisper. You see, someone is always reporting to him. It's not fun to hear the dance. You finally have a little faith in the worst. High ability. Yang Ming is the one pulling the strings behind the two sides of the grudge. Lost and Black Feng Sun. Biting her lips a little complicatedly towards him. My family is not in the forest. Suddenly came back. 19 Ma Queen Old Medic 2. This person is Yang Ming, who can make the most of his eyes. Smiling at the dance. The police are waiting for one, the police say. Brother Long is not easy to deal with. You Min's people are unreliable. This time it was too dangerous. That's why I ordered them to stay put. See the situation. Hear this word. Yang Ming suddenly changed color. It even emerged that the ray of intent. My late master is as kind to me as a mountain. Even if you sacrifice your life, you will die. We are not people who are afraid of death. Moreover, the master's enemies could not report. Of course I understand this is just. He said, biting his teeth. That's enough. Who is he? These are the two monks we've invited. Maybe he can save her. It is most likely to take a step forward now. Chun opened his mouth to the two of them. The old man escaped. To treat the disease, even if the disease. As long as the old man is out of the disease. Yang Ming did not wait for him to finish speaking and waved his sleeves. Angrily said. Master who was severely injured by the dragon captain. It can only be treated by the dragon head. Maybe you don't believe me. Hear this sentence. People think about time together. Yang Ming in his heart rose a little hesitant. I think it's best to stand between the two of you again. Brother, give me a chance. I can really get out. Yang Ming in his anger. I can't help it. Allow your fights towards the most popular side. I can feel it here. But because the play bit its teeth. He flew out. Still trying to speak up. No, just give it. What's wrong with an old man this age? I can't stand this one of yours. I dare not cure her. It is not easy to do business with the farm. What do you say? This gentleman is invited. If you want to hit me, hit me. Is that feces often rushed to stop vomiting? If you want him to heal you. If he does anything, master, I will never forgive you. After saying that, Yang Ming waved his sleeves away. I don't even look at the dance floor. The family was abandoned by Yang Ming. The most likely glance is the one. All because of you. Brother doesn't want to talk to me anymore. She shouldn't have trusted you. Your grandmother didn't teach you how. Look at you. Look who has to see what he does. Don't just listen to what he says. He deliberately didn't let me heal him. It's because we don't know our strength. But he's trying to probe us. I feel my power is normal. That's why they agreed to let me heal. You said he was suspicious everywhere, right? Pull the dance startled. I remember Yang Ming's actions again. Just as the worst said. When he left, she even saw him as if he wasn't smiling. Can't say. And then dragged Vu dare not think anymore. She can only control herself. Untie the forest rope. Bring her expressions into her eyes. Probably the most. Stand up. Go ahead and pat her shoulder. Come on, let's go see your sister. You are a charlatan. See what's sick? Acting has to be enough. And the play isn't over yet. I think it's best to just go directly in. The family also follows closely behind. You two go together. Enter the room. I saw Yang Ming sitting next to the owner's bed. Pretend to be a good boy. It's a pity this moment. The police don't dare believe him anymore. Cheater. What is my master's fate? I will not forgive you. Duong Min saw to people going out. Put the cup of porridge on the table. Angry eyes to people. Probably the best laugh for an hour. I walked up to the old man in bed. See the pity for someone else. He just touched his hand a little stunned. I saw a deep smile on his face. The commander was not injured. There is no internal injury. The worst part just ended. Yang Ming couldn't wait anymore. In his eyes flashed rays of color. He didn't expect. The man in front of him had only a small amount of air. Only for people can discover his plan. Towards the Drag family. She didn't believe he could diagnose any disease. It's just acting. He had an incarnate foreign body, must have continued to runny nose. Suddenly the corner of the table was broken by Yang Ming. What the old man in bed wanted to say to them. It's a pity not to say. The other person was clearly a little agitated. To speak ambiguously. Yang Ming has an aggressive atmosphere. Come in front of the worst. One hand grabbed him and almost fell. I was stunned by this act of his. Brother, why? My eyes are full of evil. Turned his head towards her coldly. Do you have something to hide from me? My sister is not sitting next to me. The dance floor was a little hesitant. Then he shook his head and laughed. I told her to go out. Look at her expression. He knew she must have known something. Not waiting for her to answer, Yang Ming was cruel. Hit out a chuang towards her. Not having time to react, she immediately flew out. Blood appeared on the face. Immediately after that, Yang Ming pressed a round block. The room immediately appeared a large cave. Sometimes you two are sure, the most powerful and powerful force fell inside. Take a look at this situation. Immediately understand the sunflower mint shock. Yang Ming, it is all because of you. Haha. I came back this time feeling that something was wrong. There's also a name for two monks. Of course you began to doubt me. The court heard him. I can't help but feel a little sad. She screamed loudly. Why did you do that? It is not silver for you. Yang Ming laughed coldly, ignoring her question. He said he was good to me. I came here for a purpose. I don't want to leave you early either. I can't believe you came here to train. They ruined my plan. Hear this word. The family immediately shed tears. She trusts him that way. He is next to the network. I don't want to forgive her either. The worst part is that one side looks at the other side and shakes its head. There is no pity for her. You can blame someone now. I blame her for not having eyes. He had to play enough. Brother, if you have a problem, you can solve it yourself. I was innocent and let me go. Haha, he is covered in stomach. If you don't let me kill you or not. It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, AI. Tell you diagnosed the cause of the old man. What is the cause? I just felt him lie down for a long time. The body produces toxins, so I'm going to give him a little bit of advice. Hearing this, Yang Ming was startled. That's what I don't know how to do. He hurried to reveal the plan. This old man deserves to die. To ruin my great. When I am done, I will deal with you. Guard this place. No one's allowed in. Release me. I'm innocent. Most probably still try to call. I didn't see him go in time. Turn your head and look back at the dance. I saw her sitting in a block. AI eyes wet. Women are all like that. Always put your heart up. The giver loves them. Then he was given his life. Pain through the heart. He touched the smile. You're in trouble with my lady. You can exchange more to learn from them later. Whether you survive or not is a matter. Where to get it later? He glanced at him coldly. Probably the most smiling. On my face full of confidence. It's all in the plan. Let's go out tonight. If you want to die, you can kill yourself right now. Even if I die, I will drag you to death. The dance is screaming. After a loud moment in a dark, squishy cave. The best of the world is resting with his eyes closed. Suddenly open your eyes. The room is quietly sleeping on the ground. Rest assured. Fortunately, she didn't mess up. If you can't just handle her. He immediately summons your blood with an evil smile. Destroy them all. Except 20 herbicides to the root. Your blood just came out. Silence. One sound into the body of each guard. I don't know what happened. it exploded. The life of the entire Black Mountain is silent. That's how it ends. Suddenly this time, a voice came from the body of the guard in the middle of the door. Open up the agency and let us out. The other guy suddenly asked. Because of what's in your body. Let out the sound of someone locked in secret. But when he finished, Kia's body exploded. He was immediately afraid to run away, but a red light will not spare him. He quickly entered his body and spoke. Open agency Ra. Let us out. Look at the team in front of you. His hands and feet trembled without delay. Let them all run inside. Open the agency, release the two most evil people, and drag the family out. Underneath the most likely to laugh evil achieve the goal. Door 7 is also open. You can go out. Wake up drag dance drag lady. You recover and rest. If you don't want to die, follow me out. He said he jumped out. The dance is amazing. I don't understand why you can open the door. But I don't care what he says anymore. You are angry that you want me to die. We live. Just as she finished, she jumped out. Two people left the office safely. The guard saw the two men hastily kneeling down. This great lady, please forgive me. We are missing the owner. I am not being pushed by Yang Ming. The family looks at. I don't know exactly what happened. Not up either. The loudest voice in the world spoke coldly. Back to the side. He said he went straight to the old man's hospital bed. He looked straight at the person in the bed and said, I can help you heal. But you have to listen to me later. You really cured my father's disease. When I heard him, I was surprised to ask. Not paying attention to her. Most likely watching people in bed move. But there's some hesitation in my eyes. He knows what the other person is thinking about. Don't worry, I won't let anyone hurt you. I'm the butler. We all have a common enemy. We are in need of a high-level strategy. He showed signs of responding. His fingers curled up. His blood flowed from the bodyguard's body, directed directly to the body of the person lying in bed. When I saw the red light flying, the guard showed restraint. He saw it blow up his team. One sound. The family saw it. The whole business. She has also suffered under this red light. Raise your hand to stop what you want to do. To heal him, he replied. You said this can heal. You tell me what this is. She had only ever seen it, and she fought. More, you know exactly how powerful it is. You have suffered shame for this. Now tell her. He wants to heal her with it. Of course she wouldn't believe. You know what you want to hear, most definitely explain. We often practice demons, we practice demons. Whether attacking or defending. Ghosts are very important. Did you know before? Because why did we say he had an incarnation? And Yang Ming for why he's working with us yet? You didn't say, you were just guessing. Now I know you're being fooled. That's stupid. I didn't say that to get past him. He struck us because it was where he hurt. This old man can't move. It's because the ghost incarnated. So we've got to get the demons out. Right now. The person in the bed moved. That means you can talk. As the dance moves forward, I saw it in the old man. Slowly crawl out an insect. Body white. I was startled to see the form of Kier insects. Get angry, Ra. You have hurt my father like this. Her whole body was filled with anger. It's aggressive towards the insect. Suddenly, the most obvious thing is to hold her hand. She was startled, unable to look at him. I saw in his eyes a ray of excitement. Why do we kill this thing? The family is incomprehensible. What do you understand? Probably not a single word. Take a small box inside. Put the insects inside. It was unexpected. This time, there was such a big harvest. This insect is the snowjaw. It's extremely rare to grow in extreme cold. The vast majority of people in the world of magic are old. There is something that few people know about in the area. Han Dam Tuet Tam has the gift of life. If it's parasitic, unless the host dies, it'll find the next host. If not, it can't be eliminated either way. Just now he took his blood and used the magic to decide. Can get rid of its larvae. Makes it think that the dead host is out. It fell into the hands now. Why? He's going to make it the most horrible thing. The world. After thinking about it, he turned to talk to the family. Let us take this old man back to the forest. Probably the most. He glanced at the surviving guard. A smile. Thank you for opening my office. You are out of use. I told him not to wait for him to answer. And then the guy completely exploded. The body is no longer. The police officer wanted to stop him from talking. I can't help it. If your story of saving lives comes out, you will be in danger. The kids say no wrong. The old man on his back spoke now. Maybe the butler thinks. At this time, the whole family is afraid of him. Who can think of? He acted so cruelly as a terrorist. On the way, she saw clearly. More than 400 people died. A sound is not heard. No one knows how they died. When to die, oh one AI knows except the Kier. She doesn't know now. Cooperation with him is ultimately beneficial or not. As she truly understands. To confront him is to die not entirely. 21 potential elders. After 10 days, the most likely to drag Vu family and Fake has secretly sneaked into the Academy of the Strangers in the They were gone for 10 days and a half a month. But I was lucky before I left. The best of the world has arranged. The black leopards over there have no animals. The lost family is safe. Later in the small room, I can only hear the sound of the door opening. Little Tu with tears on her face came to embrace the Vu family. The lady saw her cry. Wiped the tears from her face. She comforted the fool. They don't make it hard for you, Miss, rest assured, except for the evil one.